Right, Jamie, you had a great run in the FA Youth Cup to get to this stage, but obviously Leicester away was always going to be a tough ask. What do you think of the game?
Yeah, we knew it was always going to be tough. They've got a few internationals in their team as well. We struggled after 10 minutes, 10, 20 minutes to really get into our game. And that's the thing that disappoints me. And they, at times, were too clinical. They had good pace up front, strong, a little bit of guile in now, so we knew that anyway. and they're always going to be difficult to stop. But at the end of the day, that little bit of quality came through.
Yeah, I think all the goal scorers tonight, Leicester were England youth internationals, and that shows the quality you're up against.
It does, and I've just said that to the boys. They're obviously disappointed, but they're the academy's an elite academy. They got some of the best players in the country. So I said to them, don't be embarrassed. Be disappointed, of course. Because I felt we got into some decent areas, some good areas where we could have affected them. But that wasn't the case. They defended pretty well at times as well. But it was always going to be a big ask.
Yeah. Like you said, there's not many better youth teams around at the moment than Leicester. So what do you think are the main differences between young lads trying to make it at Cheltenham to players that, academies of Premier League clubs?
It's difficult. You look at technical attributes, the physical side of it. You've got to remember this is a city as well. And obviously, we're a town. So the population is bigger here, they've got more to choose from. And I suppose a little bit more streetwise to a certain extent. Just some of the things that I saw them do, But they got to get into their first team. It's probably a bigger step than some of our boys to get into our first team. But there's quite a few differences. But we're lucky to get one or two who are be like them, be as strong as them. But it's difficult. But we'll keep plugging away at it.
Yeah, and based on that, it is a great experience for Cheltenham to play against players like that, isn't it? It's just a one-off.
It's fantastic. That's what I said to them. That's what I said to the boys. I said, week in, week out, you play against our Swindons, our Oxfords. It's nice to come here, and I said, that's where you want to be. You want to be playing against them week in, week out. You want to be, in their seat. I wanted to be where their manager was. No disrespect, but that's what we all want to better ourselves. And it's a chance for them to go and pit their wits against the so-called elite players, elite team.
Yeah, so it can be an inspiring night really for some of the lads.
Yeah, of course it can. Of course it can. You have to take positives from every. We'll see this. A lot of people will see this as a negative, but I'll take positives from it. Definitely.
Yeah, you're going well in the league. You've third round, certainly no disgrace, is it, in the FA Youth Cup? So it's been very good season for you.
I think we've got to remember these. Last season they got beat by Man City in the semi-finals. I said to the boys they've been fantastic all season, and some of them are very upset, obviously, but they've been excellent all season, and they couldn't have worked any harder. And I just said, sometimes you've got to hold your hands up and say, they're better than us, unfortunately.
Yeah, and good to see Gary Johnson making the trip. Obviously, he takes a keen interest in all these games he can get to. So it is getting towards crunch time for the second years now, as well, isn't it, for their futures?
Yeah, obviously it's a big game against a very good, strong team. It's difficult to say, talk about contracts and professional contracts, etc. But the boys can, I think, hold their heads up high after the season they've had or having.
Brilliant. Cheers, Jamie.
Cheers. Thank you. Thanks.